Washington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Still shedding tackles. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe. Dallas trots on the field. There's Dak Prescott, their quarterback. Kind of an up-and-down year for him as you look back, Charles. He did have a career high, although the sample size is pretty small, just a few years, but better than 3,700 yards. I don't know. What'd you make of Dak?
I thought he continued to make improvement. You know, people want to talk about his accuracy. If you look at his numbers, way better than you would expect when people mention where he places the football. He is 32-16 as a starter in the regular season. And his number of touchdown passes, as you said, small sample size, but 23, 22, 22 in his 3 years, I would their entire offense. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. Elliott, the leading rusher for the second time in his 3 NFL seasons, 1,434 yards, more than 100 better than second-place Saquon Barkley.
And the offense runs through Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas. He makes them go. And how about how he added to his pass catching this year? His numbers jumped up in a big way. So when Dak Prescott didn't have something downfield, he just dumped it out into the flat to number 21. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
San Francisco ready to get the football on offense. If you look back to 2018 at the quarterback position, Jimmy Garoppolo, remember, hurt back in September. That was week 3. Certainly they're hoping to have him full health for week 1 of 2019.
They certainly are, because if he is in full health, he will be their quarterback. I know that Nick Mullins did a really nice job this year when he replaced C.J. Beathard. They'll battle it out for the backup spot. It's Jimmy Garoppolo's team, and when he's at full health, they think that they can play with anyone in the league. 2 years now, they feel like they've missed opportunities. 2019, they think they should contend for a playoff spot.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they can open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He finds McKinnon, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Cowboys have recovered. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's caught inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're doing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, 47. 26.
On second down, Elliott. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Only a yard that time. Not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
He'll get it up the middle. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Prescott to throw it. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jeff Swain, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't, because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, right?
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Well, as they get ready for this next drive, we shift our attention to a little Super Bowl conversation. The third time that the Super Bowl, Charles, is going to be played in Atlanta, and the Patriots had 35,000 folks come out in Foxborough before departing for a little rally.
How about that? You would think that would be a fan base where it might be a little bit blasé about the whole thing, because they seem to go just about every year. But they continue to use their rallying cry. They hate us because they ain't us. And as for the game itself, February the 3rd, I can't wait. I'll be there to call the game internationally one more time. Just remember, this game is 17 years to the day. Since Super Bowl 36, got this whole Patriots thing kick-started. Literally. Adam Vinatieri with a game-winning field goal. Patriots beat the Rams 20-17. Same franchise, different city. They were in St. Louis then.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. Here's Austin. Ooh, the juke. And now he bowls him over. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. CD, before this next drive gets going, the Pro Bowl took place January 27th in Orlando. Third year in a row that the AFC has won, and really the third year in a row where the weather in Orlando has not been too kind. It was ice cold 2017, and then downpours the last couple of years.
Yeah, in addition to it being cool as well again this year, so rain and cold, that hurts the crowd a little bit, but still, this game has evolved into what I would call a crazier type NFL game. Quick whistles to make sure guys don't get...
And it's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down carry by Elliott. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
First down, Prescott. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it'll be tipped up and picked off.
And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness. Just about got him into the end zone.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that is going to be incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And that will force a turnover on downs. For San Francisco, Charles, earlier we discussed Jimmy Garoppolo the year he had after the injury. They had to scramble really at quarterback. But now they're going to have the number 2 overall pick because of the injury-riddled 4-12 campaign. Where do you think they go?
They'll have different options, too, because many will say secondary. They just had 2 interceptions all year long. Worst in the NFL. Pass rush, to me, it's edge rusher because I think they get the rush inside with DeForest Buckner. I think he does a really nice job for them. But could they trade back from number 2? I think they'll be sitting by the phone saying, hey, you guys want to talk? We're agreeable to that.
It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of his first half of action. Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. And able to find Garcon. And the ball is knocked out. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott, eluding the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble.
He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Here's McKinnon across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
And a spin again. A second spin. A big-time return there, 40 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. But Charles, as the Cowboys take over here, what do you think of the season that Dallas had? Yes, they get in the playoffs, but that's now 6 straight divisional round games that they've lost.
And that doesn't make you feel great as an organization. But think about this season. They started 3-5, ended up winning their division. Questions about their head coach Jason Garrett's future. They finished 7-1 to claim that 3rd NFC East title in 5 years. And then they added a playoff win over Seattle as well. So I think the future looks good for Dallas. I also like what they're building with the better young linebackers in the league. And Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. Build around them and watch for the Cowboys to be in the mix in years to come.
Now Prescott airing it out for Hearns. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, we're standing by. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that...
Now the ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Well, they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
A second down throw for Prescott. Airing it out for Hearns. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hearns that time. 3rd down here.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. It was first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sean Lee, in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop it for a loss of about 10.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Garoppolo toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And that takes us from second to third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that have him into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
So it's third and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanking the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Allen Hurns, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys turn that interception into a touchdown. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They run it with McKinnon. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They run once more with McKinnon. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on third down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Over the middle to Garcon. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the first. That's good for a Niner first down. Garoppolo to Garcon.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they didn't get. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Jerick McKinnon taking it in from 7 yards away. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
That time a 6-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Complete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 38. On 1st down, Garoppolo. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Demarcus Lawrence in there to get him his 2nd sack now in the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Prescott now. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play. Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Here's Prescott. Incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Prescott. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way. Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack, but once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Unfortunate. That one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
Being chased out left. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now third down.
47.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced him.
And Beasley's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys.